Step number 4, listen. Listening to God's commands can be challenging at times, but He will always keep His promises. God's plan is always better than ours, and when we submit to God, He becomes our real treasure. In the book of Job, chapter 22, verses 21 through 25, they talk about this very thing. It says, "Submit to God, and you will have peace. Then things will go well for you. Listen to His instructions and store them in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. So clean up your life. If you give up your lust for money and throw your precious gold into the river, the Almighty Himself will become your treasure. He will be your precious silver." Would you be able to obey that command? To just throw away everything that you worked so hard for someone else just because they asked you to? Before you answer that question, let me read you another Bible story. Mark 10:21 and 22 tells a story about a rich man. Jesus looked at him and loved him. "One thing you lack," He said. "Go and sell everything to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." At this time, the man went away sad because he had great wealth. I'm going to read to you guys a little portion of the Chosen's daily devotional, 40 Days with Jesus, book number 2, that talks about this story. That's a big ask, no matter how you slice it, but that's what love does. It calls out our sin and orders our steps so we can become desperate and needy for Him. But the rich guy couldn't do it. He couldn't unclench his materialistic mitts and let Jesus rescue him from the bondage of earthly wealth. After keeping all those commandments for all those years, he failed to obey the first and biggest one. "You shall have no other gods before me." The revelation must have gutted him. The rich guy locked eyes with the Messiah, felt His love, grasped that money that no longer was the most obvious thing, and yet still chose to worship his inferior God. Describing the man as sad seems like a profound statement, since the guy walked away with his wealth intact, but also the worst imaginable poverty. He didn't have Jesus. So I'll ask you again, will you be like the rich man and worship your money, or would you be willing to give it all up to show God how much you really treasure Him and His great love?